one of the things I'd like to kick off with, Jon, is, as somebody who is seasoned in business, grown, scaled, et cetera, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in business?
I would say the biggest lessons I've learned is the importance of knowing how to build and maintain relationships that offer mutual value to each other.
Yeah.
Because in my job, in my position with the organization, it's really about fostering those relationships with our customers, which are optometrists.
Yeah.
And making sure there's value in that. But at the same time, I've got a whole supplier and industry, this eye care world, that I couldn't do it without partnerships with vendors and others that are suppliers, because we're at the street level, a retail and service business. And I've got to have those. So I would say the ability to build and sustain relationships of value with one another.
Yeah. Where do you think, companies, do you think more companies do it right or do it wrong on that?
Do it wrong.
So why do they do it so wrong, do you think? Because it's really not that, when you really think about it, it's not that difficult to be kind and conscientious and follow up, right? I mean, you could go back to everything we learned in kindergarten type of poem. So why do you think companies, I see it all the time as a business coach, right? I go into companies and they're making such fundamental mistakes, but they don't see it, right? It's hidden in plain sight to me. They don't see it. So why do you think so many companies do it wrong and or don't see it?
Well, I think that part of it is the fact that as a culture, we've become so transactional. And those transactions start with a priority on ourselves.
Yeah.
And that becomes a mindset. And when that mindset begins to override your judgment in basic relationships, whether it's customers or frankly even colleagues within the office, then it's rechanging that mindset to focus on the other individual, and basically and taking the approach of how can I bring value to Jon today?
Yeah.
And forget about myself. Because if I build value in the relationship that you and I have only recently started,
right,
then we will both want to maintain that relationship over time, which will create other opportunities. So I think it starts with a cultural kind of dominance of this transactional experience that we have, focusing on ourselves.
I love it. Thank you for that. I would agree with that. It's transactions are very science based, and I think sometimes people forget about the art of the business. Mm-hmm. And there's art and science in every piece of it, and taking time, think community, to reflect and see where things are good and where things aren't working within your organization, and rewind and rebuild.